all right. Welcome to the Bread and Hover Show, where we always bring it to you every Wednesday. Steve, what's up with
Hey,
you, Steve?
what's going on? Had to pop in, see what's going on out there.
That's what I'm talking about. So, Steve is going to be on the show tonight, co hosting with Bread and Hover. And also, um, momentarily, we will have Lou. Lou will be joining us later on in the show. Lou does his weekly show, the Enhanced Sports Show, so he'll be checking us out. He's been supporting the Bread and Hover Show ever since we started. Also, we got an action-packed show tonight. We got a lot of things been going on, Steve, in the sports world. I don't know if you've been abreast with a lot of things been happening, but there's been a lot of movements going on with teams trading and releasing players, all kind of good stuff. So we're gonna get into all that good old stuff. Got to pay the bills real quick. Going to make some quick shout outs. Um, those who first time listening tonight, you're welcome to check out the Bread and Hover Show Facebook page. We have a Bread and Hover Show Facebook group page where you can check out some of the comments we make, as well as if you'd like to be a part of what we got going on, our little small community. Hit us up and we'll take care of you. Also, feel free to check out the Bread and Hover Show website, sportsandbrews.com, where we feature beer and live sports content. All right, without further ado, we're going to go ahead. And also, Brad is having some technical difficulty. I don't know what's going on with Brad, Steve.
Mhm.
I tried to see what's going on with him, but he's having some computer problems. But he will be joining us later on. So, but in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and start right off into this. Let me just get my line up here. The rundown on the show. All right. Okay. Starting now. Okay, looks like we. I just talked Brad. I just talked you up, Brad. I didn't know what was going on with you, bro. Can't hear you.
You got us on mute.
You got us on mute, I think. Still can't hear you, Brad. Brad must be using Brad. You sure you using the updated headphones, man? What's going on with you, bro? anyway, anyway, we'll let Brad try to figure that thing out. Um, so we're gonna start with the first segment, around the room. Around the room, Tiger Woods has another surgery. I
I
don't know if
know.
yeah, I don't know if you're familiar about it, Steve, but Tiger Woods is in the news. He recently had some surgery, and you know, it's one of those things where you hate to hear anytime somebody has an issue, has surgery, particularly. Oh, one moment, Bridge, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, we hear you. We hear you clearly now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
my bad.
Goddamn, man, my computer's dying on me as I speak. And
Uh-oh.
Mm,
you
mm,
remember them old cars back in 1970, some cars back in the day, and when it was cold, you had to crank it a couple times, and then when it finally crank up, then you had to let it run for like 10 minutes.
The Buick.
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
yeah. I got a
mm-hmm.
Buick of a computer going on right here, so. I don't know what's going on with it, but it took longer than usual to start up. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully you got to help me out with these kind of things, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll see what I can do, man.
It,
I'll
it,
see what
it's
I.
it's it's just terrible, terrible. Steve,
What's going on?
oh, what's happening, man? I know my mic is all jacked up, man, but I'm gonna try and get straightened out. But what's
We hear
happening?
you clearly. We hear you clearly.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, you good.
yeah, yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, well, go ahead, ho.
Over.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Brad, we trying to get on into the action here, Brad. You
Go on with
heard
it.
you heard about Tiger Woods, man. You heard about he had surgery.
Yeah, man. I think that it's unfortunate because we always want to see him play, but we want to see him win again, at least one more.
Right.
And that's the thing. Everybody wanted because he won at such a big clip when he was on top and when he was making his way to the top. And so
Exactly.
it's just really, it's just really sad, disheartening to see. Only time you see him is in TGL, that kind of stuff, which is, is gaining some momentum, some popularity. But I mean, you just really miss that. You kind of hate that for Tiger because you want to see him play and you think that he can win in one, which he probably still can. But you look forward to seeing him in the Masters and all these things coming up, and to have him, his body hates him. It seems
Mhm.
like his body just hates him, man. And so that's what he's dealing with. I hope he gets well soon so we can see him compete.
Yeah, man. I'm be honest though, Brad. I don't think he really been in the best of health or condition with his body since that accident.
Yeah, yeah, you're correct. You're correct. He had a couple of accidents, but that last one he had,
It was pretty
where he
bad,
di-
man.
where he almost lost his
Life.
leg.
Well, yeah.
So that kind of stuff is still weighing on him. Sucks.
Oh, all I can say, man, is do what he got to do, man, and which I know he will. And you just hate, like you said, you just hate to hear the bad news like that for
Yeah.
him. But but he'll recover. He'll recover.
Yeah, I hope so. And wish him the best. And it just sucks. I mean, and right, and this is not the first time we've seen it. That's the only thing about it. This ain't the first time we've seen this happen with Tiger.
Right.
And
Right.
and it's just like a reoccurring bad story. And it's just really not good. Golf is always better when Tiger's playing.
It's
Right.
true.
It still is. He ain't won in I don't know how long, but it doesn't matter. It's always better when he's playing.
I
Cause,
agree.
because we've seen this guy come down from double digit strokes, to win a tournament, and
It's true.
and we seen him win by double digits, and he's never out of it. If he make the cut, he's always been a threat, and so that's one thing we always hang on to because we're so used to seeing that.
I agree.
That's true.
I agree, man. So yeah, man, get well, hurry up and recover, man. Tiger,
Yeah.
we support
Yep.
you. Out for the year wrestling, Jade and Naomi. Hmm.
Oh yeah. So I've been catching up. Like I said before, I don't know if y'all been watching this stuff. I've been catching up with wrestling, man. Uh, I've been keeping up with Jade and Naomi on the women's, all of them really, but the women's side is so good on both AEW and WWE. So I've been getting
Hmm.
caught up. Jade Cargill, if guys been keeping up with it, she went out a couple of months ago and all you knew is somebody threw her off the ledge and she fell on the car and she just spread out on the car and got hurt.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
that's all you know. And everybody talking about who done it, like who shot JR.
Right.
Come to find out it was the sister who took her place because she was a tag team champion with Bianca Belair, took her place,
Hmm.
and come to find out it was her. Nobody could believe because she was a face.
Right.
And I told you she got jumped on, and so she got jumped on again last week. But Jade came out and jumped on again because she admitted to doing it. Everybody, no, we can't believe. Where's the proof? Nobody could believe, and man, she admitted that she did. Everybody, oh no. So that was a real big thing in the wrestling world, guys. So it's funny because it's one big soap opera in wrestling. But I'm like, shoot, sports ain't no different. I mean, if you look at this thing between Stephen A. and LeBron, that's a
Oh
soap
yeah,
opera.
that's a
Yeah.
controversy. Yes.
That's soap opera. You can't say
Mhm.
that it don't exist. It happens all the time in sports. Somebody talking about somebody catching feelings. Don't talk about my son. Keep my son out your mouth. All right, it's grown ass
Barkley and
man.
Perkins.
But I get it. That's his son. That's his. What say, Steve?
I said Barkley and Perkins. Charles
Yeah.
Barkley and Perkins.
Charles Barkley and Perkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm curious to see what Lou got to say about that LeBron thing.
Catching feelings too, man. Catching feelings all the
I,
time, man.
I
I think it was the craziest thing ever, man. Craziest thing ever. All see these grown men going at it about petty stuff all the time. So wrestling's been doing this kind of stuff for years.
Wrestling is a soap opera, guys. You know that.
And that's right. And that's how they make their money. That's how
That's
they make
true.
their money. What's up, Lou?
Wrestling is a soap opera. We all know that, though,
It
right?
is.
Come on, we know it's all scripted.
It's supposed
except
to
for
be.
the fight.
It's supposed to be. If it wasn't scripted, wouldn't nobody watch.
No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. That's true. That
Wouldn't
is
nobody
true.
watch. But getting back to the thing at hand with Perk, what y'all think about that this thing between Perk and Barkley? I mean, it don't take much for Barkley to just call somebody a fool and just call them out.
I didn't have the much of Barkley anyway, even as a player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Barkley
don't
was
know.
always, arrogant and whatnot, and he wasn't even really that good. Despite the fact, it's of his broadcasting career, but he wasn't much of a player anyway, and I couldn't really stand him.
The
You know,
round mound of rebound.
but it's interesting though, Lou. It seems like Barkley. It seems like he's having a better broadcasting career than a basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
You're
I'm
correct.
not trying to be funny. I mean, he was, he did his thing, but I think he's having a better career off the court.
Much better.
That's just my
Much better.
opinion.
Yeah, he's a champion. Definitely, you got to say he's the champion of announcers in terms of athletes off the court. He never
Yeah,
won on the court. I mean, obviously Jordan kept him from he he kept him from eating and winning the big one.
Jordan
Yeah.
kept a lot of people from eating.
He kept a lot of folk from eating, man. He kept everybody from eating.
Exactly.
But when you talk about that, but that's the thing about you can say about Jordan that you can't say about a lot of players that have played the game, other
No.
than maybe Bill Russell, maybe. But you got to
Yeah,
go
it's not
back that far,
yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, you're right.
And so you have those generational players. You can't even say that with Magic because Magic had to really kind of share with Bird,
right.
Yeah.
right? But I mean, Magic really didn't lose that when he got there. He really didn't lose a whole lot neither. So that was a different thing. And then you fast forward to LeBron.
hmm
LeBron's lost a lot in the championship, a lot. Everybody ate on his watch. So outside of LeBron, KD ate. Steph Curry still eating. You Boston said who's over there in Boston? What's the guy's name? Light skinned dude from Duke. What's his name?
Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
He's terrible.
He's eating. Jalen Brown's eating. Everybody eating on LeBron's watch, man. I ain't said it, but I mean, I would think that would be good for basketball, but I don't know. Was basketball better when it was dominated by one guy or two guys? Because Magic and Bird saved the league, saved the NBA. But past that, you got Jordan, and the league was on top. They've never really witnessed as much success as they had with Jordan being there. Now you had Kobe, he did his thing, him and Shaq, that was different. But now they're like, Luke, correct me if I'm wrong. Are these the lowest ratings that the NBA has seen in quite some time?
Yeah, pretty much. And what are they going to do? How are they going to try to fix it? This was the thing.
Yeah, that's a good.
It has evolved. I think I think the international play is infused into NBA, and that's adding another layer. But also, people have the streaming, social media. They have so many outlets and avenues, and it's like, how do you truly track the viewership? Because everybody doesn't go into that box in the living room anymore.
Yeah.
So,
right. I mean, streaming has changed the way we watch sports and everything in general. I mean, I speak for myself because I actually have on, well, not the NBA game, but I have a college game on stream right now. I wish was a bit better though. But streaming has changed. I mean, this is not the 20th century anymore. Of course. So things have changed. Technology has changed, and it affects the way we watch things and do things. So yeah, I think that's playing a major factor in it.
Yeah, I have to agree with Lou.
Prime start with when Prime starts in October, November, I'll be ready for that. It's a good thing I have Peacock and the Prime as well, so I'm all set.
There you go.
Yeah, I think the NBA. I mean, I would watch college game basketball more than the NBA. Why? Because the game is more competitive. I think in most cases. And when you think about the NBA, and I know you guys know. I mean, from what I remember watching, the Bird, the Magic, and even hell, I even go back to Detroit Piston, the Bad Boy era.
Yeah,
the game was just more physical, right? It was more physical, but they weren't scoring as many points as they scored now. And I don't know, man. Maybe to Steve's point, with they bringing in that, the international play. Yeah, it's fun to watch. You get all the points, but me personally, and you know this, Brad. I like to see the old way where you had a big ass center who went down low, went down low, posted up. You had Bill Laimbeer type guys, banging, a lot of banging down. The game has changed. They don't do that anymore. They don't post up.
Yeah, check it out.
You rarely see any posting up. Maybe LeBron posts up from time to time, but most cases they're shooting the ball from the perimeter.
The big man throw it back to the perimeter, and sometimes the big man is on the perimeter shooting. Wait a minute, what's this guy doing out here?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's the funniest thing. Seeing guys over 7 feet, shooting the ball at the top of the key, trying to hit a three. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
You think that's the Curry effect? Is that a Steph Curry effect? Even though I know the guy's been shooting threes before Curry, but
I think part of it is yes, not all of it. Because if you look at KD, for instance, and so you remember KD played down in Texas. His game's always been that way. You watch him from college, that's just what he was. He was a tall guy. And if the rebound came his way, he'd get it, but he wasn't a box. He wasn't a low post player. You look at Karl Anthony Towns. Look at AD. But that's a perfect example is AD. KD and AD, perfect examples. KD when he played ball, AD when he played ball, college ball, he was still growing. His natural position in high school was a shooting guard. His game was he's always been a shooting guard. That's always what he wanted to do. But he kept growing. He wouldn't stop growing. And so they moved him from shooting guard to the wingman. And that's what he always wanted to do and be. But because of his height, and especially in the NBA, they had to put him in the 4 and 5 spot. And to this day, he's fussing about playing the 5 because he's over 7 foot and he don't want to bang. That's not his game. He's not a banger.
I always felt like AD was not a true center anyway, Brad. I mean, I always felt like he should play either power, like a Moses Malone or Karl Malone, or hell, even a small forward, but possibly a Karl Malone guy, and then you got another person who played dedicated to play the 5. I think you see why. I mean, he can't handle it, man. Every time I look around, they put him in a wheelchair. So
I'll tell you what, if he and Kyrie in Dallas, that might have been a problem as well. because those guys were looking really good, even without
Yep.
one or the other one in the game. So we never really got to see them together except once.
Yep.
But that's water under the bridge, like you said, because he's in a wheelchair.
Oh my God.
See, not Steve running with the wheelchair, but
Oh boy.
see,
Cut it off. Man,
Oh,
see there you.
imagine being traded and you supposed to be the polarized player and you injured for the year.
gone.
Yeah.
It's done. It's
Well,
done,
Kyrie
man.
was the face, I guess. But that was interesting. That was an interesting trade. But I don't want to get you off script. That was interesting.
It was interesting in itself. I don't think I've seen anything. That's something Atlanta would do. But
I know.
what would Atlanta do? That.
Yes.
Speaking of Atlanta Hawks, they're in first place. How about that?
Yes, sir.
The Hawks have really been playing pretty good ball as of late. I hadn't really watched. I'm be honest, I really haven't watched them as much this year.
Yeah.
But from the times I have watched them, I like what I see. I think they got a team that can play competitive ball. Can they win the big one? No, but that just it is what it is on that. But they can play competitive ball. What you guys? Brad?
Go ahead.
No, I think that the Hawks are missing another max player.
Yeah, they are.
Regardless of I prefer big man, but it doesn't really matter. They just need another max player, and you don't know if Jalen Johnson can grow into that max player. I think he's very good, but you got to stay on the court, man. You got to stay.
Yeah.
You got to stay on the court. You can't be that max guy if you can't stay on the court. So if you have Jalen Johnson, and if you're able to get it, I know the Hawks are making some room. But if the Hawks are able to get a deal to get a max player from somewhere, it is not a whole lot of them out there, especially ones that are available and want to leave, then they're gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 2 cents on the Hawks. Steve, what you got on?
Well, if the Hawks actually, I think they're 6 or 7 seed right now. If they actually make the playoffs, they're doing better than the Falcons. And on the Braves, I only hope as far as winning the big one right now in Atlanta. Lou probably knows that he's a New Yorker, but yeah. So if they, in reference to what you're saying, I agree. I'm just saying if the Hawks even make it to the playoff, that's more than what I thought, because they definitely need a game changer. Right. They need in football we say dogs, but they do need a game changer. But it don't have to be a Bron or whoever it may be, or a Step or whomever, but we do need a difference maker on the court to kind of take that, because Trey is kind of like a silent, I don't want to say he's a silent assassin. He's a good leader, but he ain't we need another piece of that puzzle. I mean, look at the Celtics, that group, that core of guys have played together for about 2 or 3, 4 years, and they constantly in the finals. I shouldn't say in the finals, but in the playoffs, and they go deep.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you.
Yeah, they built the right way. They had to start from the draft and make good picks. And anybody else, the Hawks had a draft, and I will say this: I think the Ricochet is going to be that guy. He's going to be that dark horse.
Okay.
If once Ricochet continues to grow, you keep Jalen Johnson healthy, keep Trey in town. The Hawks, you can take, and if you keep that, if you don't get the max player, and you go ahead and get a big man that's pretty decent, they get very interesting real quick.
Yeah,
because you got Ricochet. Nobody's really talking about him, but he could possibly win Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Very realistic. So he scored 22 points the other night. And just keep your eye on Ricochet. He's getting more playing time. And the Hawks have really been taking their time in terms of managing his time on the court. And they really didn't have to start him when they had a full squad. They had a full squad with Jalen Johnson and others. But now they've had to start him a little bit more because of the injuries.
There you go.
The guy he's good, man. He's really good. He's got inside, outside game, plays defense number one. He's got length and he's still growing.
That's what we need.
So Hawks future looks bright, but I still they need to get a max player from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know what you do. The rumor mill now. Don't shoot the messenger. The rumor mill is the Hawks are going to be hot and heavy, injury or not, over Embiid.
Oh, they want Embiid.
Yeah, that's the rumor mill I heard last week. Hawks want Embiid bad. Heard or not.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
But I don't.
Embiid can't stay on the court. He like AD.
Embiid can't stay on the court. AD can't
Yeah.
stay on the court.
Yeah, he can't stay on the
You
court.
need you need.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that. I mean, with him, you definitely got to have two big men. I mean, but you. I mean, you got Okongwu. You got Okongwu, but he's a 4 though. They play him in the 5, but he's really a 4. But guys, what is a 5 nowadays?
A 4.
Right.
Yeah, a 4 that shoots threes. Yeah, that's what it is. That shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all a 4 is.
Man.
Another 4, super 4.
So NCAA, man, men's basketball, women's. I mean, it's getting hot right now. Tournaments are, cranking up. Matter of fact,
some better than others though. Oh, boy.
as a matter of fact, I'm looking at Georgia play Oklahoma right now in the SEC tournament.
I got Villanova Seton Hall. No contest whatsoever. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm flipping around. And I was actually watching OKC playing Boston.
So
here's a question for you guys about that. I mean, there's been a lot of of discussion of like who would most likely face the finals. A lot of people are taking, of course, the Thunder, and Celtics. But I think for some reason, a lot of people are overlooking the Cavaliers. Why? I mean, the Cavaliers have the best record in the whole league.
Donovan Mitchell group
by the dreaded Celtics. Yes, I know that the Celtics are the defending champions, much to my discretion. But Cleveland has showed why they're the best this year, but yet they're not really taking them for a final. I mean, is there something missing here?
No, Lou, excellent point. That's the same thing that Kendrick Perkins and Barkley were fussing about.
Yeah.
And the thing about Cleveland, the problem with that is the league. Is ESPN. That's the problem. Because you don't see them. They don't have them on prime time. You see them when they see them, but you don't see them a lot. You don't see them on prime time. When you see them, they really don't advertise them. When you watch Sports Center or clips, they may show Donovan Mitchell, but that's about maybe it. That's about it. Or they may just show the score. They may not show them at all.
They got more coverage then.
Yeah, but that's the problem. They're not getting they're not even getting the coverage on Instagram.
Yeah.
Wow.
So even when you're trying to pick up games here and there and highlights, Instagram, social media is not even picking them up. That's the problem.
I will be asking this on Saturday on my show as well, but I want to get your take since I don't know if you'll be or not, because it seems just kind of weird because everybody's taking the Thunder win, of course. You got you got Shai Alexander, of course, the star of the team.
Yep.
And Cavaliers have their own brand, but they seem to be on the back burner, and you're thinking that the Celtics are just gonna overtake Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals. As it looks now, it looks like those two will be in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think maybe most people are taking Boston.
Yeah. Nobody's taking the Cavaliers seriously because they don't see them. Haven't seen them. Hell, the Cavaliers were good last year.
Yeah, they were.
They were balling last year. But if you don't see them, you don't know. And it's the exposure. I think the exposure is one of them. And Cleveland's kind of like Atlanta. The city's not really known for winning, especially outside of LeBron. And so they're not known for winning.
The Falcons choked the Super Bowl, right?
But it carries through all the rest, except through the Braves. But when it carries home through the everything else too. And so everybody's like, well, the debacle with the Falcons and everything else is, Atlanta
Yes.
teams find a way to choke. Cleveland teams find a way to choke, and nobody takes them seriously.
Does.
That's part of it too. So I think it's a combination of just different things, stuff that we're used to seeing. Oh, they're gonna choke eventually. Yeah, they winning, but Boston's gonna win. Who's gonna put their money on Cleveland? It's gonna be a lot of money to be made if you do bet on Cleveland, though.
That's true. Well,
There's
this
a lot
year
of money to be
Cleveland,
made.
Do that.
Cleveland won a game in Boston, though. I mean, they kind of put their footprint on it this year. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it looks like a different team, meaning that they can be a contender for the chip. But we will see. But he's
Yeah.
right. I guess if LeBron was there, they would get more attention.
Yeah.
Oh, well, absolutely, of course.
I mean, LeBron. I mean, the Lakers were getting attention with LeBron when they were losing.
Yeah.
Well, LeBron's LeBron.
You know.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of what it is. But and LeBron, I mean, he's out for the next couple of weeks. He's gonna be out for a while. That sucks for the media.
2
But
weeks.
yeah, I mean, but they're still gonna keep up with LA because it's LA.
And Luka.
Yeah, and you gotta consider
Luka.
from what they were at Brian Christmas time, they were like, almost down arrival. Look at them now.
Yeah,
And that one trade, Luka coming to LA has really pushed them up, while Dallas is about ready to fall off a cliff.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
yes.
I'm surprised Cuban let that happen.
I mean, but he's not the majority owner anymore.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
Yeah, and I think
Still involved, but he's not involved. Thank goodness.
Yep. Oh yeah, right. He's still there. He's
Tell me
probably
the
saying
things
hell
that
no, but if you're not
He's
the
a Shark
majority,
Tank or something, okay?
he's too busy with Shark Tank. I think that's the problem.
yeah.
That's
Tell me
the
the chase a
problem with
couple
that.
of sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too busy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all that is there. I mean, but to your point, Steve, I think that if he was still the sole owner or majority owner, I don't think you would have traded Luka.
I don't think so. Because Luka was bringing money in. And
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you would have allowed that to happen.
Yeah, I don't think he would have either.
And I mean, even though I heard they said what they said, his conditioning is not bad, and I mean not good, and I don't know, just other things about him in the locker room. But still, that's one of the top players in the NBA.
that's true. You
Get
can't take
over
that away.
it. Make it work. Get over it.
He has a
Keep it
high
moving.
basketball IQ.
Yeah.
You can notice, you can see it on the court.
Yeah, high, very high IQ, and so he's gonna be okay. I don't see how you make that trade. But at any rate, you're gonna see LA. You're gonna see the same team. You're gonna see Boston. You're gonna see LA. You're gonna see Steph Curry and crew. You might see a little. You're gonna see some Denver. You're gonna see that. So there are about 4 teams that the NBA is banking on for us to look at season in, season out, every day, every week. They banking on us to just take junk food of sports. I just call it junk food.
Yeah, you can look at it that way.
I mean, it's like, okay, I have a couple fries, Frosty or something, Coke, and a burger. Yeah, I can't eat that every day. That's not good. I like it when I like it. That's what they're giving you. That's what ESPN is giving us. That's what the major now. If you watch NBA, what is it, guys? The NBA channel.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's a little different. They spread it out a little bit.
They
but
do.
Casual fan ain't watching that. I very seldom watch it, but I do watch it from time to time because it's refreshing to me. I know they're going to talk about everything and everybody and give us. They're talking about Cleveland. If you watch them, they're definitely talking about Cleveland.
Yeah.
You mean on NBA TV?
Yep, NBA
TV.
Yep.
Is NBA TV going to survive after the season's over, though?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You got TNT that's dropping it, and the landscape has changed. I think that with the addition of streaming services and all these new things going on, I think in the form that we know it, I think that it will change. In terms of NBA TV, no, I think it just moves to something else. You have to get it on like Bally or something. It's gonna get streamed. Go stream like everything else. Yeah, it's gonna move to streaming service. a lot of times you can infuse it to Roku or something like that with live TV, part of live TV. You can stream right, and you know what I'm talking about, Lou, and you can stream it. They got channels, specialty channels. They would love to have NBA TV.
I hope
So
somebody gets.
so I think it moves towards that a different platform. Right now, you can get it on, what is it, YouTube TV and probably still direct or whatever like that. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
But that's YouTube is still kind of like the old cable format. So with the old cable format, which is dying out, it's like a relic almost. Then you're gonna have to make adjustments. Everything's moving, like Lou was talking about earlier. He's like he's set up for the season. You got Peacock, you got Prime, and you got if you're a sports fan, you got to have multiple streaming services. You can't rely on cable how we grew up. Even if
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't
true.
have cable, it didn't matter. But as we were, growing up, cable was the thing. That's all you needed to keep up with sports.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Landscape
true.
changed.
TNT or Turner Broadcasting.
It's
That's
In,
it's
true.
changed.
in our world, I don't know who it is in your world, Lou. Who are the top companies? But that's true.
Well, I mean, we still have ESPN. ABC is going to do more. NBC's getting back in the picture, which I'm happy about actually, because back in the day in the '90s and early 2000s, NBC was the prime home
Yeah,
for NBA. Though I
yeah,
do kind of miss the CBS. Why didn't CBS go after it? Because after football, what do they got? Nothing. So I thought maybe CBS should have jumped in.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I see it's kind of weird, man.
They got Tony Romo.
They got the Masters, man. That's what they do. They got the Masters in Daytona or something. So
The
Well, then again,
Cowboys.
that's hard too. So yeah,
yeah, that's what they do, man. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of how I see that, guys. With and it will the landscape for sports will continue to change. And what we have grown up, it is changing before our eyes. It will continue to change, and it will morph into 5 years, man. It won't even be that long. 5 years or less, it's gonna morph into something else. Look at all the favorite. We talked about it last week on the show. Think about all of the shows that were popular when we were growing up on ESPN. They're like gone, man, or about to go. What's the one that just left last? Was about to leave, Lou. We talked about it last week.
around the horn.
Around the horn.
Yeah, around the horn. That's a good one.
Yeah, around the horn.
Around the horn. Watch that for years, man. Around the horn. I used to watch the sports reporters on Sunday morning.
Oh sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was with John Saunders and the crew. Oh man, that was like religion.
Mm-hmm.
So I may have missed church, but I saw sports reporters.
Yeah,
That's not good, but
I'll pay the way for me doing what I'm doing now.
yeah, yeah.
I know myself as a reporter,
Yeah.
somewhat.
So I mean, but yeah, Lou, you hit the nail on the head. So that influenced a lot of us to today's podcast.
Yeah.
And so and so everybody can get involved and do their thing. So that's
And,
gone, but that's how technology
15
affected.
years ago, no one really knew what podcasting was. And,
Yep.
look at it now.
Yeah,
That's
love
true.
it.
That's
Love
true.
podcasting, man. Just love it. Love to do it. Love to listen to it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where things are. You look sports talk here in Atlanta, Odyssey. It's on Odyssey right now. And especially out during the pandemic. And if you're in your car, you listen to it. But for the most part, I'm at work and I'm listening to Odyssey.
What's Odyssey on?
Odyssey is a streaming. It's an app, and you can get different. The
Odyssey.
Odyssey app.
That used to be CBS.
Yep. And so you can get everything on there. It doesn't have to be sports. You can get anything on there. You get local, but everything that's on free air radio, you can get on that on Odyssey on Odyssey on the Odyssey app. So the apps and all of these things and technology have really changed the way we receive and information on for sports and enjoy sports in general. And all of that is just the long way around what Lou started like 10 minutes ago, asking the question about that. you know, about platform and all those kinds of things, man, which is just excellent stuff. What else we got on tap, Hope?
Yeah, so let's see where we at. So yeah, man, let's go ahead and talk about Grady Jarrett.
Oh, guys, oh Jesus, golly, God,
did,
oh
Chicago.
did
man.
let's talk about
Hold
NFL.
on, hold 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 on. See, I would just be jumping the gun. He just too fast, man. We about to talk about Grady, man. We about to talk about football and all this movement. We about to talk about that in a few minutes, just a few minutes, man. But I just wanted to make sure, in terms of college basketball, I don't want to go past college because we almost missed it. Braden Hover brackets is coming up next week. Braden Hover brackets is coming up, so I would need you guys and
Okay.
everybody listening to participate. That's all. Get a bracket. It ain't got to be perfect. Ain't no science to it.
All right,
Bracketology.
the public announcement. That's the public announcement.
That's the PA.
That's the
Let's
PA.
go.
All
That's
right.
that's the PA. That's the PA right there. So we
Yes.
Brett and pay attention to who's winning, who's not winning. Just saw the South Carolina women's South Carolina team win the SEC championship over Texas.
Yep.
So just when you know they only lost a couple of games, and people are like, oh, South Carolina's done, they're dead. They lost to Connecticut, and all is over.
You can't write them off just like that.
Not so far, not so fast, not so fast. So Dawn stated she got them focused. So I'm not saying they're gonna win it all, but you have to pay attention to what they're doing in South Carolina. You have to. Also pay attention on the women's court, what's going on in the Big Ten between USC and UCLA. After USC dominated UCLA for 2 straight games, they could not check. They didn't
Never
have
mind.
no answers for Juju Watkins. And
That's it.
yep,
Because she's making quite a splash now too, and she's already done things. She's already surpassed Caitlin Clark in some areas as well too.
yep.
So she's on the rise as well.
Oh,
She's on
absolutely.
pace to be. She's on pace to really be in that same stratosphere by the numbers as Caitlin Clark. So look for they. Unfortunately for them, they lost the Big Ten championship to UCLA. UCLA came with it. I just think that USC just fell asleep at the wheel. So
Really.
I don't
Let's
think that
do it.
UCLA is a better team. USC just fell asleep at the wheel and thought they had it and just dropped it. Oh, before I move any further, I got to give shout outs because we're gonna forget. Hova, I know you forgot to give a shout out to them Patriots, man.
Yes, I did. I forgot to give a shout out to the Patriots, man. Um, shout out, shout out to the home team, Southwest Macon Patriots. Southwest Patriots. they they had a big championship game this past weekend. Came up a little short. They played against the Metro Atlanta team,
Best Academy.
Best Academy, and but hey, man, they had made it to the championship, with the state championship game in I don't know 30, 36 years or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's been some time.
Yeah, so it's been some time. So just want to give a quick shout out to the guys. We appreciate all they've done, and we know they're gonna have future better success in the future, man. So
Yep.
you know what I'm saying. So shout out.
Shout out to the Patriots guys. Shout out to the Patriots, Southwest Patriots, and all the Macon was there. So all
Yeah,
the Macon tried to squeeze in there
yeah.
and
The
couldn't
whole
squeeze in there.
the whole city supported them. The spectator came on the announcer at the
Boston.
game. He was saying, we've met capacity. Please sit down." So yeah,
Mm,
it was.
mm,
If you ain't got your snacks now, you just need. It
yeah.
is what it is to go and sit down. So anyway, it was. but but yeah, it was good. I was able to catch the game on TV. So yeah, but big shout out to them.
Big shout out. And regardless of what school you went to, I mean, they represented, Middle Georgia, Macon area. And we were all proud of them. Being from Central, I was one of the rival schools. We was all around Central, Southwest, Northeast. Those the original three rivals in Macon. I don't know what they're doing now, but those are the original three. And but it didn't matter. All the people I went to school with at Central, everybody put them for Southwest. Some folk I knew from Northeast, they put them for Southwest. And so it was kind of really a Macon versus Atlanta thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we came up a little short. We had the game, came up a little short, man. I think little Buddy, the little point guard that they had, just young players always have to kind of remember, and coaches too. It's a team game. It's always a team game. You may have players that get hot, but you got to notice when players find a defense that works, then you got to use your teammates. You can't have people standing around. So it's still a team game. All right. We'll talk about the men's college next week. Ain't a whole lot going on outside of Duke. So Duke and Auburn. Auburn lost, but I mean, who cares? I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. So hate Duke, but look like you're gonna have to put your money behind Duke this year, guys. Sorry. Football. Let's go. Football. Let's go. Falcons. Let's go. Grady. What you got, Steve? Steve, I'm gonna shut up, Steve. What you got on the Falcons, man? I'm done.
Well, the Falcons, we got a piggy bank and it's empty. We don't have no money. We put it all on Kirk. We invested all our coins on Kirk. So we on the clearance rack trying to grab players because we don't have the money to spend. That's basically why we couldn't make a deal for Grady. We had to lose our polarize, our face of the franchise.
Oh,
What you call it? I mean, this guy right here is being so much Atlanta, but the money was not there. The bank, they tried to negotiate and work something out per sources, and we just didn't have the money for him. And he was picked up in 45 minutes to Chicago? I mean, 45 minutes. I mean, as soon as we made the announcement, it's like, I mean, he made it happen. He's gonna be a little cold, but he got to make that money and feed his family. I hope he keep his house in Atlanta because that's some bad weather in Chicago. But
yeah,
I do hate. But the initial point that you said, yeah, it's a tough loss. Losing Grady. I always say this. I wish our front office can get it right, at least while we on the earth, so Atlanta can have line this up and try to be a contender. Because these other teams are getting just stronger because they've got it right and they've made the right move. So let's see what we can make of this season. We're basically trying to put our chips together and grabbing what is the leftovers because we don't have the money to spend.
Yeah, we got Jack. Well, can't take Steve nowhere.
Finish the school, jump on the teacher.
Oh, gosh. Hope what you got on him, man. What you got
I'm just gonna piggyback on Steve. He's right. I mean, front office, they messed up. I think they put all their chips into Kirk, and we saw what happened with that. So Grady, you know what you're gonna get with Grady. I mean, Grady is if anything, he's consistent. He and so I'm not surprised he was picked up right away once he left the Falcons.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I mean, it makes me think about Myles Garrett, right, in Cleveland. You see what Cleveland did. They stepped up to the plate and made the man damn near he's getting quarterback money. So not to say that Grady needed that type of cheese, but I'm just saying that I just wish the front office, Brad. We've talked about it, Steve. The same.
Mm-hmm.
The front office, they just made some bad decisions in some of the things they've done, and this is what happens. Now you lose Grady, so that's basically what happened. But Steve actually, he's absolutely right.
You got anything on that, Luke?
No, actually, I don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll put it to you this way, guys. I think that I don't think it turned out the way either one of them thought, but both of them at the end of the day made the best business decision.
Correct.
Yeah, Falcons. They thought the Grady, and they've done it before. Grady's been a stalwart and just been the guy, the face, really the face of the Falcons on and off the field. Really, one of my favorite. I got to admit, probably my favorite player. Been my favorite player for a long time, even during the Matt Ryan years. Still was my favorite player was Grady. And and the things that he's done for the city on and off the court cannot be measured in dollars. So I just think they called him in the office, they lowballed him, and it's like, hey man, we we can't afford you, but can you take this home time discount for it? We appreciate you. He's like, no, I cannot. See you. So no, I cannot, and I will not. And I can't believe y'all coming to me with this mess. That's y'all know better than that. So he left. I thought it was the Falcons had to find some money. They found 16 mil. They picked up 16 mil under the cap by dropping Grady. So and he ended up somewhere in less than an hour. They already had somebody lined up. They knew what was going on. So he's up in Chicago where, like Steve, it's cold and polar bear toes up there. So
but I mean, really though, Kirk Cousins, man, if they hadn't made that deal, I think things could have been different. That's all. I mean, it could have been different, man.
I agree. 100% over. I think the Kirk Cousins deal put so much tomato on the face of not really just the ownership in the front office, man. That's really where it was. And so somebody picked Kirk Cousins and somebody picked Penix. And the ones who picked Penix won. The ones whoever's bright idea was to pull up the Brinks truck and behind Kirk Cousins' house, that was the problem.
Man, look, man, I'm gonna call it just like I said. Pick up Penix. Penix should have been starting day one. The hell with the hell with the Kirk Cousins experiment, right?
Yeah.
Let's just the hell with that, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah, should have picked him up.
That's the way I think it should have went down.
It should have picked him up in the first. But now you stuck with it. Because the money gonna be spent whether you cut him or not. You still gotta pay it.
Well, this is true.
You don't save no money by letting him go.
Well, you're right about that. So
he's in the trade office, and I think your boy Aaron Rodgers is about to be dropped here pretty soon by the Jets if that hasn't happened yet.
Oh yeah, done. I think he's done. I think his career is done too. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah, I agree with Lou on that. I think he's done. He may have something for a backup, but he ain't. I'd leave him alone. I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
Let him. Age gracefully and keep it moving. And so I think that happens to him. And Jets should be in a better place quarterback wise. I think that was the only problem with Jets, in my opinion, was quarterback. So that's got a quarterback, man. They in contention. They in contention to get a quarterback situation.
Yeah, they gave you a Phil 2 years.
Phil got 2 years, so
you know what? But the interesting move, not to cut y'all, Brad.
Go ahead.
Daniel Jones to the Colts. I don't understand what Daniel Jones is. It makes me think about Kirk Cousins. I hate to say that, but maybe worse.
Yeah.
He chose.
I mean, okay, I'll keep it moving. That one's just a little puzzled about Daniel Jones. So he's starting, right? I guess so, right?
I guess so. They I mean, I don't know. Richardson, he's still hurt. What are they doing? He wheelchair bound still? What's going on there?
Richardson, it's not happening, man.
His accuracy, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, Steve, you're right. I mean, you saw the experiment last year. He started, and of course, his strength is his mobility. He can run and all that. But like Steve said, his passing, he's not very accurate. So you know, when defenses stack the box and make him pass, then it's like don't,
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
it's the Price is Right thing come out. So, um, yeah, so they sat him down and they brought him back, and then Price is Right thing came back again. Don't.
Oh.
there it is. There it is.
It was just a matter of time, that thing
That just
came.
shows how old I really am.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, so I think that's gonna have. I shouldn't say that. Sam
Yes.
Donald, same thing with Sam Donald.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, I
So.
mean,
Wow.
it was a whole bunch of them.
He's
A
not much
bunch
of
of
a
them like
quarterback,
that.
though. He's not much of a quarterback.
A whole bunch of them like that. But I mean, it's quarterback sweepstakes out here. I mean, everybody's rolling dice on quarterbacks, right?
Yes.
Everybody's rolling dice or overpaying. Ain't nobody overpaying quarterbacks as much as the Falcons, though. That was just really a debacle. But
Mhm.
that's what we do. So,
Yeah.
so you gotta wait another year. And look, I mean, he the gift that keep on giving, and we're paying for it in the draft because he couldn't keep his big mouth shut about
Exactly.
injuries.
Oh
Now
yeah,
you lost a
yeah,
draft pick. Now you only got 5 picks.
yeah.
Jesus, man, are you kidding me? So you ain't got picks or money messing around with Kirk Cousins. I mean, man, that was so bad. That was such a bad deal. That was so bad. Who was that? Was that Fontenot or was that the coach?
Man, that was Fontenot, man. Fontenot, man. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know. It might have been him and Rich McKay. I don't know.
I think it was Rich McKay. Got Rich McKay all over it, man, and let him be the scapegoat. I think that's what it was all the way. That was so bad, man. And now you got to pay him. And so, only way you can get rid of him, really, I mean, you can trade him, but nobody, at least for right now, nobody wants him, even though they ain't got to pay him.
Yeah.
So they're like, nah, I'm not giving anything up for him. Saw what a mess he created down there in Atlanta. So I'm not just nigga out the 10-foot pole.
Nah.
So yeah. So I mean, you're paying him, you might as well keep him. I mean, nobody really likes him now, but you don't want him sabotaging you in case you have to use him. In
Yes.
case Penix goes out and then you got to use him, then who trusts him going in the game? Nobody.
Yeah.
But the Falcons have already told teams, at least that's what they're saying. They could be lying, but they've already told other teams they're not trading him. So the deadline is they're gonna pay the $10 million at the deadline if you don't get moved on by Sunday.
Right.
Mm.
And he's got a no trade clause. Man, Fontenot got to be the stupidest GM in the world, man. You got to be kidding me. Anybody that picks a tight end like Kyle Pitts at number 4, man, it's got to be dumb.
Don't even
Sorry.
get me started with that. But
All right, let's not go down that road. Let's get back
all
in
right,
the
all right, Lou. We look like we up on time. You want to go ahead and take us out, Lou?
All right. Assuming I survived the zombie apocalypse this weekend, Enhanced Sports Show will be on Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Steve, I don't know where you are, so if you can tell me where your location is, I can give you the exact time for you.
Georgia, Lawrenceville. I'm with the guys.
Okay, 4 to 6 for you as well. All right. Number is 512-543-4662. I'm going to discuss the controversy with why is Cleveland being overlooked. That'll be the NBA segment because I still think they have a fighting chance to make it to the final, even though some of you doubt me. I mean, people in general. I'll still be on OB watch as he gets closer to breaking the all-time scoring record. That's for sure. MLB spring training as we're down to the now past the midway point, and by next week they'll be getting ready for the first unofficial game of the season. So a lot of movers and shakers in NFL football as the league year has now begun, so we'll be taking care of that. Of course, also have UFC and WWE reports. We'll have our feel good story of the week, sports trivia this week in sports history, and the ridiculous story of the week. And of course, your thoughts and comments are always welcome to join in because I can sure use it. We're also on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in theenhancedsportsshow.com. You'll hear the shows in the entirety. And don't forget to like and share the video as well. Remember, the number is 512-543-4662 from 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturday. So I hope I get a chance to hear from you guys.
Oh, yeah.
All
We'll
right.
do, Lou. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it,
Oh,
Lou.
well, remember, it's a family show, so, well, you know. At least I'm not going to make it a family show.
Yeah. No problem, Lou. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Lou.
Thanks.
So yeah, man. So that's and we forgot to bring up. I know that over the weekend, Josh Allen signed a pretty lucrative deal. Also, I think one of the highest paid. He made some history with that deal with $330 and 250 guaranteed, something like that.
I'm like
$100 a minute for 6 years.
For 6 years, yep.
$100 a minute.
Woo. Wow.
Man.
Jeez.
Okay.
But he is definitely their MVP. You don't want to make him unhappy, so you got to pay him to make sure that that's his home and that he retires there, championship or not. They're going Allen the bus up in Buffalo.
Right.
So we'll but as the draft gets closer, and I can't wait, guys. We're going to talk more and more about Falcons draft needs. I think Georgia Pro Day was today, and with Georgia's Pro Day, the whole Falcons squad needs to be there. Everybody from rooter to the tutor, from the from the coach to the front office. Arthur Blank needs to be there. The water boy needs to be there. The athletic trainer needs to be there. Everybody from the Falcons staff needs to be there. Cheerleaders, pom-poms, everybody needs to be there, Lou. Everybody needs to be at Georgia's at the Pro Day workouts. But I know that they've made some extra links to really reach out to some Georgia players, and you hope that they will be there at 15. I don't know if they will, but you hope that they are there if you're a Falcons fan and a Georgia fan. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to make it down there, but I hope so. And so we'll talk about that in terms of any mock. You guys doing any mock drafts?
With that mock draft stuff.
Nah.
Yeah, well, I don't do a lot of them, but I just do a few when it gets close to draft time for the show. So it'll be very interesting to see what that looks like.
Especially that Putz Kuiper from ESPN. Oh, please.
Oh yeah, well, he's I'm surprised that they still have him on there. I guess he's just the face right now. That's all. So the real guys who really get this stuff done the right way. Yeah, Tom Michelle was a little bit better, but they got rid of him. So there's that. As that. So look, guys. Anything else to close the show, guys? You about to close it on out. I think our back is up against the wall on time. We appreciate Lou. Appreciate Steve joining the show tonight. Yes,
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Lou.
And I see you all guys on camera.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, man. We make an appearance every blue moon.
Right.
Every blue moon.
So I'm out.
Have a good one.
All right.
Have a good
one. See you, Lou. Thank everybody for joining the Bread and Hope Show here every Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So until next time, join the show and speak on it.
Speak on it.
Speak on it.
Oh, put the music on, Hope.